For feedback on the homework assignment, calling it an assignment, but the task I did set. Ontology. This will be interesting. Not. Don't try confusing us with philosophy. So, ontology is just a fancy word for our understanding of reality. That's all I want us to know. Or the reality of things, and this is often before we even approach those things. So, por ejemplo, alright, as an example, do you understand reality to have just one truth or multiple truths? And I mean in general, I'm not speaking from a religious perspective yet. So if you have this concept, let's say we have this understanding that the truth is one. Now that will impact countless aspects of life. Whatever you're going through, that understanding will impact it. Now you can take that to many different concepts. Let's say work as an example. Our ontology will impact our expectations. So there's an understanding there'll be some form of labor, some form of reimbursement, payment, produce, doing something. So if somebody was to say, hey Mufti, you're working for me now, I'm giving you a job, you don't need to do anything, just chill, relax, sleep, I'll just make sure the check is on time. That's all. Now there's no law that says such a job cannot exist, so why am I finding it difficult to process? On that note, if you're thinking of giving it to me, alright. That's because my ontology, or the understanding on the reality of work, is telling me I'm expected to do something in order to get paid. Now you can apply that to many different areas in life. But let's bring religion under the microscope. So before we know anything about a faith, any faith, what do we think religion is all about? Think about it. So worship, commitment, devotion, a list of do's and don'ts. What else? There's also an understanding that religion is anti-world, okay, anti-desires. People would also feel that indulgence is against religion with a capital R, and also the fact suffering is important. Hence, a lot of religions arrive at praising suffering or giving up worldly goods and desires, regardless of which religion it is. Now, these are all the views that you have about religion before you've even learnt anything about that faith. Now, as an example, take anything. Let's say music. I don't want to discuss it in detail, but with that ontology, it would be bad anyway. And since you believe that religion should be against entertainment or against indulgences, you wouldn't even need evidences to convince yourself that music is haram. And if anybody said that it's not haram, as an example, it would clash with this ontology. It wouldn't make any sense. How could religion not forbid it? So if I started to tell you, well, the deen is actually one of ease, and maybe many of these things you think are haram aren't actually haram, now that would clash. Because in your understanding, in religion, there ought to be a struggle. You ought to abandon desires and to suffer. And because of this ontology, this previous understanding of religion, every time you read in the faith, you will have a confirmation bias. So due to this preconceived understanding of religion, when they do come across examples in the Quran or Sunnah that don't fit in, they interpret it as an exception. So that explains why people sometimes really struggle to reconcile certain things with religion due to their preconceived ideas of religion. However, through things like the voice of reason, critical thinking, evaluation, we can shift and modify these preconceived understandings and hopefully arrive at a more harmonious understanding of this deen and why it is a deen of ease. Right people, till next time, over and out.